Over the Pacific, two stealthy shapes cut through the darkness, an American F-22 Raptor and a Chinese J-20 Mighty Dragon. The F-22, long the symbol of American air dominance, is flown by a pilot confident in unmatched stealth and sensor fusion. But tonight, the J-20 emerges, a sleek, angular rival, no longer dismissed as a mere copy. The J-20 is a statement. China's ambition is not just to catch up, but to surpass. Its presence signals the end of uncontested American air power. The game has changed. The rules are being rewritten at 50,000 feet. The J-20 pilot, part of a new, highly trained generation, flies an aircraft packed with advanced sensors and long-range missiles. This is more than a technological race. It's a clash of doctrines and a test of wills. The sky is no longer a sanctuary for American jets. For decades, the U.S. Air Force was unrivaled, but that reality is fading. China's rapid modernization is closing the technological gap faster than anyone predicted. The question is no longer if China will become a peer competitor, but when. What does this mean for global stability and the balance of power? The era of American air supremacy is ending. A new rivalry is taking flight. The warning comes straight from the top. U.S. generals now say the PLAAF is on track to become the world's largest air force, sooner than anyone expected. This isn't just about numbers, it's a direct challenge to a core pillar of American military strength. China's aircraft production now outpaces the U.S. in key areas, rapidly replacing old jets with modern, domestically built fighters. The days of dismissing the PLAAF as outdated are over. For the U.S., air superiority is essential. It's the key to all other military operations. If America can't guarantee control of the skies in the Pacific, its entire strategy is at risk. This transformation is the result of decades of focused investment and a relentless drive for military parity. China has studied the American way of war and built a force designed to counter it. The general's warning is a call to action. America must invest to maintain its edge. China is no longer just a regional power, it's a global competitor challenging the U.S. for supremacy in the air. The balance of power is shifting, fast. The numbers tell a story of accelerating competition. The U.S. operates over 13,000 military aircraft, with the Air Force alone fielding more than 5,200. This global fleet has long enabled unmatched power projection. China's total military aircraft number around 3,300, smaller but rapidly modernizing. The key isn't just quantity, but the pace of change. Much of the U.S. fleet is aging, while China is building new jets at breakneck speed. The PLAAF now operates over 2,400 aircraft, with its fighter fleet transforming fastest. The U.S. has about 2,700 fighters, China over 1,900, most of them modern. The PLAAF now fields more active fighters than the U.S. Air Force alone. China is retiring old jets and replacing them with advanced designs, improving its average capability every year. Nearly 1,300 of China's combat aircraft are modern, closing in on America's 1,600. U.S. forces are spread worldwide. China's are concentrated in its own region. In a Pacific conflict, China could bring more modern fighters to bear than the U.S. This is the reality behind U.S. commanders' warnings. The race is on, and China is sprinting. The balance of power in the Indo-Pacific is shifting. Numbers alone don't tell the whole story, but they matter more than ever. The skies are becoming a true battleground. China's air power revolution is led by a new generation of homegrown combat aircraft. The J-20 Mighty Dragon, China's first operational stealth fighter, rivals the F-22 and F-35. Its mission penetrate defenses, hunt high-value targets, and challenge Western jets. Supporting it are the J-16 strike fighter, China's answer to the F-15E, and the nimble J-10C, a multi-role jet with advanced radar and weaponry. China's ambitions extend to bombers too. The H-6N, a modernized bomber, can refuel in flight and carry air-launched ballistic missiles, threatening U.S. bases and carriers from afar. Looming is the Xi'an H-20, a stealth bomber project that could give China true intercontinental reach. If the H-20 becomes operational, China will complete its nuclear triad and join an elite club of global powers. These new aircraft fundamentally alter the strategic balance. China's Air Force is no longer just catching up, it's setting the pace. The world is watching. Despite China's rise, the U.S. still holds critical advantages. Its fifth-generation stealth fleet, F-22S and F-35S, remains unmatched in air-to-air combat and networked warfare. The F-35 acts as a flying supercomputer sharing battlefield data and multiplying force effectiveness. America's bomber fleet, B-52S, B-2S, B-1S, and soon the B-21, gives it global strike capability China can't yet match. The US can hit any target on Earth from secure bases, a key strategic edge. America's vast support fleet, tankers, AWACS and ISR aircraft, enables its jets to fly farther, see deeper and react faster. China is building its own support fleet, but it's decades behind in numbers and experience. The US advantage extends to its people. American pilots and crews are the best trained, most experienced in the world, forged in decades of real combat and rigorous exercises. US pilots have more flight hours, joint operations experience, and a culture of adaptability. Chinese pilots are improving but lack real-world combat depth. In battle, this human edge can be decisive. Technology matters, but experience and training often tip the scales. The US still sets the standard for air power, but the gap is narrowing. China's greatest strength may be its industrial might. Its factories churn out new fighters like the J-10C, J-16 and J-20 at a pace the US can't match. Soon, China could field more J-20S than the US has F-22S. This production surge lets China rapidly modernize its fleet. China is also a world leader in military drones, fielding everything from small tactical UAVs to high-altitude surveillance platforms. Advanced unmanned combat drones, loyal wingmen, are being developed to fly alongside manned fighters. Drones are cheaper, expendable, and can overwhelm defenses with numbers. In a Taiwan conflict, China could deploy swarms of drones before risking manned aircraft. The US is developing similar systems, but China's speed and scale are unmatched. In the race for air power, the factory floor is now a battlefield. China's Air Force growth is tied to its Indo-Pacific ambitions, especially over Taiwan and the South China Sea. Its strategy anti-access/area denial, creating a fortified bubble to keep US forces at bay. The PLAAF's modern fighters and bombers threaten US bases and carriers, complicating intervention. In a Taiwan conflict, China would strike airfields and command centers with missiles, then send waves of fighters to seize air superiority. J-20S would hunt enemy jets, shielding the invasion force. US forces can no longer assume safe operations from Pacific bases. China's H-6N bombers and missile forces threaten these bases, forcing the US to disperse and adapt. The PLAAF aims to make US intervention too costly to consider. In the South China Sea, China's militarized islands extend its air power deep into contested waters. Fighters and bombers from these unsinkable carriers control vital shipping lanes and intimidate rivals. China is using air power to reshape the region, both in war and peace. Despite its growth, the PLAAF has major weaknesses. Its pilots lack modern combat experience. The last large-scale air war was in the 1950s. The US Air Force, by contrast, is battle-tested from decades of real-world operations. China's command structure is rigid, stifling initiative, unlike the US model of decentralized execution. The PLAAF's ability to conduct complex joint operations remains unproven. China still struggles with reliable, high-performance jet engines, a critical vulnerability. Corruption and procurement scandals have raised doubts about equipment quality and readiness. These hidden flaws could be exposed in the stress of real combat. Will China's Air Force surpass America's? In numbers, especially in the Indo-Pacific, it soon might. But size isn't everything. The US still leads in stealth, global reach, and combat experience. An Air Force is more than machines, it's people, doctrine, and logistics. The US maintains a crucial edge, but China is closing the gap. The outcome depends on choices made now: investment, innovation, and adaptation. For China, the challenge is overcoming inexperience and command rigidity. The race for the skies is about more than hardware, it's about the future of global order. As the dragon's shadow grows, the world watches to see who will rule the skies.